What's going on, Los Angeles? Welcome into the Rams Skinny here on the LA Football Network. Excited to be with you on a beautiful sunny day here in Los Angeles on a Monday. Mock draft day. It's mock draft Monday. Perfect day. I didn't even think about that, but it is mock draft Monday. We are going to be doing a live Los Angeles Rams, all 7 rounds, all 11 picks mock draft. We'll try to do it quick and concise and fun so we don't bore you, but we'll see what we get and see that we can predict exactly what Les Snead and Sean McVay are going to do on April 25th, on Thursday, on draft day. Joining me, as always, to my left on the screen, Skinny Snead. What's up, brother? How we doing?
Skinny Snead, another new nickname. I love it. Got the professional, got the skinny tea. Noodle Juice, that's another one.
Yeah.
That's a weird one.
Favorite one, right?
I do love it. I just like that the guys are, riffing on my nickname. When we were in Las Vegas, just having it was a work trip.
Yeah.
we did plenty of work, but for Radio Row for the Super Bowl, and just kept riffing on it, and it kept evolving. It's like one of those B monster flicks from back in the day where the monster becomes something bigger and nastier than it ever had been. So it's settled. The nastiest is Noodle Juice.
Yes, from skinny tea to Noodle Juice. It's we've made our way. Good old work trips. You ever see that movie with Vince Vaughn called Business Trip?
No, I have not.
He's like I think he's a salesman, and it's like the company's kind of dying. I haven't seen this in forever, but basically they really need this one sale. And so him and like a few guys from the company go on this business trip to, I want to say it's Germany, but it turns into obviously a bunch of debauchery and just craziness. And I'm like, I feel like that's what work trips are half the time. It's like, it's all like the fun chaos. You also do a ton of work, but it's like all this chaos that happens alongside it. So that's our fun Super Bowl trips and combine trips at the Slippery Noodle, also at the combine. A lot of noodle references apparently on our work trips, but enough of that. Today we're doing mock draft. Show is always brought to you by our friends at BetOnline. So this Monday mock draft brought to you by BetOnline. You can't really mock draft on BetOnline, but you can, however, place bets on who the Rams potentially will take at 19. Easiest bet out there is who's going to be the number 1 overall pick. USC Trojans quarterback Akhello Williams will be the first overall pick. You can do it all at BetOnline. Use promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV. Get you a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Tell them the guys at the Rams Skinny sent you. So, my man, any thing you want to add before we just dive into this?
No, let's get going. We've done so much prep work. There's all sorts of resources on LAFBnetwork.com. All about everything you need to know about the Rams draft picks, top prospects. It's all there. So go check that out. If you want to pause and go check it all out, it's all in the family here. It's all one big network.
That's right. A lot of hard work. Skinny T's done a ton of hard work. We have draft profiles up for every SC and UCLA player, which I'm pretty confident one of those players will end up being a Ram or a Charger. It seems like we get lucky. It seems like every year at least one UCLA or USC player stays in LA. Last year was Quentin Lake with the Rams. We've had many others, so we'll see if we get one this year. But anyway, I have those profiles. You've gone position by position and basically broke down, for instance, edge position. One edge player the Rams could take in every single round, minus the fourth, because they don't have a fourth round pick. Do that for every position with the Rams. So tons of stuff up at LAFBnetwork.com. Just go to the Rams homepage and you should be able to find it. Our search function works there as well. Or just, hit us up and we can send you in the right direction. Ryan Dyer at LAFB or RL Anderson LAFB on Twitter. All right. So we're going through every pick. I have it kind of in fast mode to get to the Rams. So we'll just hit start draft here and watch those players come off the board. I may back up real quick to see who we got here. Our friends Skinny over at Sportsnot, we talked about this actually. I want to say last episode or 2 episodes ago. I think we talked about it. Maybe I did it on my national show. I can't remember, but talked about the Rams trading up potentially with the Broncos to get Byron Murphy. Because we know the Broncos need more picks We know they need a quarterback, but it's probably they're not going to get obviously one of the top guys at where they sit at 12. And it might be a reach to take Bo Nix or Penix there, but they can trade back with the Rams at 19. The Rams can move up to get Byron Murphy, and the Broncos can get another pick plus potentially take one of those QBs at 19. Sportsnet, I brought that up because they just released their latest mock draft and actually had that scenario happening. However, that's not going to happen in this because we're not doing trades, at least not in this first round. So, Skinny, you look at this, tell me to slow down or to go back if you need to see something. But 3 quarterbacks off the board first. And it's so funny because we'll see if this happens, but I actually have been saying now that I think Drake May will end up being the 4th QB taken, even though he seemed to be the consensus number 2 quarterback. A lot of rumors are coming that Daniels is going 2 and maybe McCarthy goes 3. You have Neighbors, who I know a lot of Charger fans want, go 4.
This is already shocking that Drake May and Marvin Harrison Jr. have dropped out of the top 5.
Yeah, totally. And the Chargers take Alt without trading back. I think a lot of people think they will trade back and then get their offensive lineman. If they're at 5, you would think they go Marvin Harrison or Malik Neighbors, whoever's there. They go Alt. May goes 6. Marvin Harrison 7. Roma Dunze 8. I won't read every one of these. Dallas Turner. A lot of Rams fans have maybe talked about him. He ends up going 9. Jared Verse ends up going at that 12th pick, another potential edge player for the Rams. And so there's some good talent here for the Rams at 19. When you look at defense specifically, I mean, some great options here.
This fell exactly the way you wanted to. Cooper DeJean still there. Leatu Latu still there. Byron Murphy still on the board. So they've got kind of the pick of the litter for the defense. So, I mean, we're not dueling mocks. This is going to be all the same picks. So, what say you, Ryan McVay, Sean Dyrud?
I just realized I was supposed to dress up. I forgot. I was supposed to dress up to look like McVay in this scenario. I needed a button up, and I can't really do my hair, unfortunately. But no, this would be great. This is, I think, the perfect scenario when you look at the optionality here that they have, because we all know that Snead's probably not going to do what we think, but we do all know that their biggest need is the defensive line, whether that's the interior or the edge, either way. And you have essentially, in our opinion, the best players available here at those positions. I mean, obviously, you look at some of the edge guys that went first, depending how you rank them. I personally like Latu a little better, so I would actually take Latu over those guys even if they were available. When you look at the interior, though, Jazier Newton and Byron Murphy, I think, are your top 2 guys. And you mentioned Cooper DeJean there if you do want to go secondary. I've been saying now for whatever we've been talking draft, month, 2 months, Latu's my guy. I think if he's there at 19, it's a home run pick. However, if Byron Murphy falls to 19, you don't have to trade up to get him. Man, it's going to be hard to not take Byron Murphy because of the loss of Aaron Donald. There will never be another Aaron Donald. However, this is a guy that at least is a immediate starting quality guy next to Kobie Turner, excuse me. I don't know though. Give me your rationale before I make a decision here. First, we'll go faster in the other rounds, but first round, this is a big pick.
Yeah, and we've got some people on the board. I got to say that if I'm Snead and you're McVay, I'm really glad Brock Bowers didn't make it to this point, because you could talk me easily into taking Brock Bowers here in the draft. But yeah, I mean, we've had Leatu Latu at the top of our board since day one, Sean. Let's just go with our gut. We've scouted him. We've liked him. He's going to pair really nicely with Byron Young on the other side. Byron's a speed guy. He's super athletic. Leatu Latu is the tactician. His feet and hands working together to get to the quarterback. That's a good 1-2 punch.
It is. Skinny Snead, let me ask you this before we send the pick in. Are you confident in Latu's injury history enough that this is our first round pick since 2016? Are we concerned about the injury, or did he show enough in 2 years at UCLA having no injuries?
Yeah.
Production off the charts. Did we feel good enough that we can find other depth at interior later, and we go with the edge here at the top?
The edge position has become the most important position on defense in football. I'm not worried about the injury history. He's played two seasons, competitive Pac-12 football. Played great production. Showed no signs. All of our doctors are saying they're cleared.
The docs have cleared. All right, I think we're in agreement. We're going Latu.
Let's do Latu.
Man, the board just fell like unbelievably for the. If this happens in real life, like holy cow, Rams fans would celebrate. Any of these would be good picks. Like literally, I would not be mad, even if they wouldn't do this. But even if they go Fuoga, yeah, here I would not be like upset. I would be more upset because they need defense more. But all right, we're going Latu though. Enough small talk. All right, so I'm not going to go through all of these. That'll take too long. But once we get to our pick, let's just see how who came off after our pick.
That.
So Murphy, of course, the Eagles get Murphy. Shocking.
Yep. No.
Cooper DeJean goes to the Vikings for their second pick. Did the Vikings end up taking a quarter? Oh, they go Bowers. They go no quarterback, huh?
Oh.
Come on, PFF. Chop. I know a lot of Rams fans like Chop Robinson. They would probably not like to see him go to the Niners at 31.
Glad McConkey is the answer for the Chiefs, it looks like.
There you go. They need another receiver now.
Sure do.
All right. Any other big names here to mention?
TJ Tampa came off the board. Oh,
Jazeer Newton fell all the way to 39.
Wow.
Bo Nix goes to the Raiders at 44. So there's the Trevor Sikkema idea of Bo Nix to the Rams not happening. Goes before his pick. So here we are, pick 52 on the clock. What position do we? I mean, we'll look it through some guys. What position do we want to target though?
Well, I'm still feeling defense, but I'm not liking kind of the top of our list here. Michael Penix still available.
That's intriguing.
Now, as if I'm Snead, Sean McVay's window, how long he's going to be coaching, we don't know. But what we don't know is, does Snead want to stick around? Does he want the next quarterback after Stafford? Does he want to flip the coin? Does he want to think in bets and take a swing on Michael Penix?
See, it's an interesting question because it's one thing that's never been talked about is like how long does Les Snead want to be GM? And there's been zero indication that he's close to being done. So it's not like there's any rumors out there, but you never know. Like maybe as we've talked about all along, like, we think McVay and Donald and Kupp and Stafford, they all kind of hang it up at the same time. Maybe Snead includes himself in there. He's like, hey, if we win another Super Bowl, we won 2, went to 3, had a hell of a good time, made a move from St. Louis to Los Angeles, like living good. So if that's the case, which it's not, I'm not saying that, but he would obviously not go quarterback here because he's planning for the rest of his tenure, which might be in that small window. But all that aside, I would hate the Rams taking a QB at 19 in the first, but if Penix is there at 52, that is a really intriguing option to sit behind.
Do you mind scrolling down a little bit just to see, at this position, I want a cornerback or a defensive lineman.
Let's look at our filter. So let's go corners and maybe interior, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I like Chris Jenkins.
Yeah. Rook Aurora.
A lot of O's.
Yeah, has been getting a lot of. He's moving up a lot of people's draft boards. Devontae Sweat, unfortunately, he had that little run-in with the police, and I learned from that he's a bit of a partier, and he was unabashedly stating that at the combine. So, and proof throughout. So,
yeah, unfortunately.
I don't know. Do you like either of those guys at the top there, the Jenkins or Rook? We'll call him.
If because our next picks is until the 80s, right?
Yeah, 82
or 3. Yeah. I mean, I like Jenkins here.
Yeah,
based on who's available, I wouldn't mind either. But Devontae Sweat, I liked prior to kind of some of the off the field stuff. But Chris Jenkins, I think, what he's done, and obviously Jim Harbaugh has spoken so highly about all his Michigan players. And he was a force in that national championship game against Michael Penix and Washington. and we need interior. Do we feel fine waiting until, maybe if we have to wait to get one of these guys? I don't know. That's a pretty big drop off to me. So
Yeah, no, I'm comfortable with Chris Jenkins. Good lineage there. His father played in the NFL. Really good athlete as well. Snead loves a good athlete.
that we do. All right, let's do it. Chris
Right.
Jenkins. Go edge interior with the first two. I mean, those are the smart picks. Snead, I don't think we'll do that in real life, but
Now I wonder how itchy Sean McVay's getting over there. No offensive weapons so far. Oh my guy.
well, you might
My
get yours
guy.
right there, Skinny Snead.
I mean, I know who I'm going with. I do like Javon Baker though, as a wide receiver.
Javon Baker. That's like you did an article about someone talking about kind of not necessarily comparing play style, but he could be like the Puka Nacua of this draft, right?
Yeah. Some really interesting. He tested really well. He did not testing, but it's the zebra tracking tracked at really good speed, almost 21 miles per hour at the Senior Bowl, and a lot of explosive efforts as well that they tracked. And I know that is something that's been important to the Rams in the past. So, I mean, unless you really want to talk me out of Spencer Rattler, who I've been excited about. But here's the thing: if we're putting ourselves in the headspace of McVay and Snead, as we've said we should be here, you got Garoppolo for one more year. There's going to be another quarterback in the third round in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Talk me out of it.
I mean, I'm kind of sold on Rattler too. After we've been talking about it the last 2-3 episodes. The ceiling is just high. Like obviously the guy, we've seen kind of the ups and downs of his college career, being, the number one recruit and, being in Lincoln Riley in Oklahoma and then getting superseded by Akhello Williams and then going and kind of reviving his career with South Carolina. We've talked all about that. So, excuse me, but
South Carolina was not a good offense, bad offensive line.
Yeah, exactly. And they had a lot of transfers out. I mean, Marshawn Lloyd who played at USC last year was with South Carolina and transferred before last year. So, he was there prior to that. But the thing is that we don't know right now. So what is the future of Stetson Bennett with the Rams? Now, regardless of off the field stuff, he's not a guy I'm saying when Stafford retires, he's taken over the keys to the starting job. I just don't feel good about that yet. Like maybe he could get there. I don't know, but now he's basically a rookie still. We'll have to reintegrate with the team. So for me, you never want to, if you think a guy can make an impact, and obviously he wouldn't play right away, but can be a potential starter for you, you don't want to put that off for the chance of, well, maybe we'll take a third or fourth rounder next year and see what happens or whatnot. So unless there was a guy that fell dramatically that I could not pass up, which Javon Baker is kind of one of those guys. I mean, Bucky Irving is that'd be a really fun 1-2 punch with Kyren Williams, but I think that's a little too rich to take a running back when you already have a Kyren Williams.
I like Trey Benson too. Speaking of running backs, I saw he was still on the board.
Yeah.
But
your next pick's 99. So I think we can get good value at 99.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler, I don't think makes it to 99. So if
Certainly
he's a guy
not.
we think that can potentially be a starter and fits this kind of LA vibe, I think we got to do it.
And he seems like a McVay kind of guy, like that Baker Mayfield. There's stories about him going after Sam Howell. He's kind of in that vein.
Yeah. And the last thing I'll say, and I'm really curious because Lincoln Riley and Sean McVay are buddies. I don't know how close they are, but they're friendly. They're friends.
Right.
Lincoln Riley obviously recruited Spencer Rattler, and then Spencer Rattler transferred. I'm curious what the reviews from Lincoln Riley would be if me being McVay called up Lincoln and was like, hey, talk to me about Spencer. I'm curious if it would be a negative review or a positive review as a former coach of a kid that played for you and then transferred out.
Yeah. He liked him at one time, so.
Yeah, he did.
All right, are we doing this? Are we taking the future?
You're the GM. You make the pick. I'm just the wily coach.
All right, we're taking a big swing. We're taking a bet on high ceiling Spencer Rattler in the third.
Here we go. We might get a lot of hate in the comments, but hey, bring it on. Tell us why. Tell us why you hate it. Is it a wasted pick? Is it just too soon to take a quarterback? I would have been, I like Michael Pratt also. If we would have known he could have made it to 99, I would have been okay with that too. But anyway, it's done. We can cross quarterback off the list. All the rumors all off season about potentially Bo Nix, Michael Penix. We get Spencer Rattler in the third. What are we doing here at 99?
Man, ever since that first pick, I have not really liked, where the board falls for us in terms of the things we need, players available. Michael Hall is still available. Yeah, that's interesting.
I mean, we could double up. What do we feel like we need here? Let's look at the corners, shall we?
Oh, Chris Abrams. I don't think he's going to make it through the fourth round.
No, I mean, we don't pick for 55 more picks. So if there's a guy we like, even if it looks like a reach based on this rankings, who cares?
Chris Abrams isn't the size I want.
Let's take a look at safeties as well. Oh, Kalen Bullock went one pick before.
Oh, of course.
And so did Brendan Rice, went to Baltimore. Would have liked that. That's okay. I've got my eyes on potentially.
Is this where they take a stab at running back?
It sure could be.
Left.
Let's see running backs. I mean, obviously, I love Marshawn Lloyd. Ooh, Estime's there too.
Yeah,
a couple golden domers in the backfield.
Yeah, and what I like about Estime, he didn't test well at the combine. I think he had a 4.7, but he's huge, and he's also explosive as well. In terms, he's just a strong dude, and so if you're big and strong, you're hard to take down. So it doesn't matter, you get out in the open field and you make a safety or cornerback try to tackle you. I mean, you're gonna win that battle. So.
And he's just did production, right? He just had crazy production at Notre Dame. So sometimes you just, especially as a running back, you can take out some of the intangibles and say, did you produce? And he did. Tight end, I really like Dallin Holker at Colorado State. So I think we can potentially wait on tight end position. Unless you're in love with any of these guys that won't be there probably by 154.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Okay. Then any other position you want to see before we make our pick?
Was there any cornerbacks that you were particularly?
Just, I think Abrams, like you said, was really the only one that kind of stuck out to me.
Yeah.
So I think it comes down to this. Do we want Abrams? I think wide receiver, we can hold off still. Abrams or a running back, which would be either Lloyd or Estime. I think we can agree on those.
Yeah, I mean, I still like Estime, still just 20 years old as well. So plenty of tread left on the tires. I mean, you like Marshawn Lloyd a bit more, but I like that you're adding a size element to the Rams backfield with Audric Estime. Marshawn Lloyd, I think, is around that 5'9" range.
Yeah, very similar size to Williams. So, all right, so it comes down to then Abrams or Estime. Skinny Sneed, you're the GM.
I'm gonna hand it back off to our offensive coach. Do you want to? Are you? You need a. We've invested heavily already at our on our offensive line. Is this we got to have another running back, right?
Yeah, I mean we got an older aging quarterback. I think his best friend is if we have this dynamic 1-2 running punch. I mean, that's gonna help our quarterback out down the stretch of the season.
Golden Domers, baby.
Estime it is. All right, so we've got edge, defensive interior, quarterback, running back for our first 4 picks. I like our draft so far. Here we are at 154 now in the 5th round. So now we start throwing some darts.
This
Find
is
our Puka Nacua.
My first one that I really dig. Mekhi Wingo and Theo Johnson. Big old tight end from Penn State.
And Taj and Dallin Holker. Any of those 4.
I mean, it kind of, uh, as Les Snead, I'm not taking another bet on a small, speedy receiver. If you want him, you got to talk him into me for Taj Washington.
Here's the difference with Taj, and luckily we have back-to-back picks here. So,
Right.
so yeah, we get two guys at the same time. Here's my thought with Taj. He's really not. He's not like a burner guy. Yes, he is smaller in the term, but he's much bigger than who you're alluding to. I think he's like 5'9", 5'10", 180 or so. So, more of that Jordan Addison ilk. And we saw Jordan Addison, how he did his rookie year. And I think Taj, what he does, he brings an element that we've maybe not been missing, because obviously Puka Nacua does as well, but kind of what is the standard for Rams receivers, in that not only are they great route runners, they can kind of do it all, but they're great in the run game and blocking. And Taj Washington is a tremendous blocker. So we just took a running back in Audrey Estime. It'd be great to have another receiver that we can add to the blocking scheme that can run these bubble screens, these jet sweeps, and also be a decoy and just be a blocker on the outside. So that is my love for Taj Washington. Aside from all the stuff, his work ethic and his practice mentality, and his locker room, candid that he brings as well. So there's my sales pitch.
Let me ask you this question: does he bring his lunch pail to work?
Oh, always.
All right.
It's a steel lunch pail. That's that old metal one that clinks when you walk.
Big thermos in it. All right.
Yeah.
I'm into it. You've talked me into it. We can. Well, yeah. I mean, we got back-to-back picks, so
yeah. I don't think it matters where, so we'll just take him first, and then all right. This is going to be mainly your choice. So you sell me on Wingo or Johnson. I know I said I really like Holker out of Colorado State, but if you like these guys better, or if you want to look at corners, let me know.
No, I'm. I was leaning a little bit towards Theo Johnson, but they've added tight ends already. Davis Allen seems to be working out. Higbee's going to come back. So I'm feeling Mekhi Wingo. Add some more depth to that.
Yeah, we need it.
Yeah, Kobie Turner. Great. We've added one already, but we still need depth. The defense we need to invest in the defense. Ensure that we're a playoff team. That's where I'm going.
Yeah. I mean, this could be one of those drafts where out of the 11 picks, 4 are the defensive line between edge and interior. Just because they need the depth and they need to, get guys that can potentially be starters day one. So I like that a lot.
Yeah. Wingo's almost 300 pounds, 6 feet 1 inch. So you potentially just move him into the nose, and then you can kind of have some fun with Kobie Turner.
Love that. And having Latu, who'd you sigh about?
Tip Ryman's kind of just my dude.
Old Tip. We haven't taken a tight end yet, so this could be the spot in the 6th round.
They keep tempting me. All right, so Theo Johnson was big. This dude, 269 pounds, 6'5", 269 pounds. I mean, can you not? Can you talk me out of him, please?
I don't know. I don't know if I can.
Yeah. Can we see cornerbacks? I mean, we haven't taken a single defensive backfield.
Yeah, no defensive back and no offensive line. So we have 5 picks remaining, but obviously they're all dart throws at this point.
Right.
Let's look at safeties also, just to see. Obviously, secondary guys are great special teamers also.
Yeah. I mean, Omar Brown is my favorite. I did write something on him, but I do not remember anything about him.
So somewhere in the annals of LAFB Network, there's some info on Omar Brown.
Yeah. See if I can jog my memory here real quickly.
Yeah. Johnny Dixon, when you look at Johnny Dixon and Josh Wallace and even Daquan Hardy, there's at least the pedigree there of, solid Big Ten defense. Michigan, we've talked about already how great their defense was under Jesse Minter. So, you're getting at least some pedigree there. I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I don't know a ton. I'm not going to just sit here and spout out stuff about the 3 of them, but you do get the pedigree of that Big Ten kind of secondary that does produce a lot of starting caliber NFL players. So I wouldn't shy away from those 3.
So you did mention special teams, and that is something that I did point out in my article. Top 5 safeties for the Rams to go after. Um, yeah, rocked up, big bodied defender going next to Cam Curl, along with Russ Yeast. You know, that's kind of the new face of the secondary. But what are we at? We got a bunch of picks in the 6th round, so we could coin toss. So I might go back to the tight end and add another inline blocker, just another body, and he can catch too. I mean, he's not going to be like your biggest route runner, your best route runner, but you get into the red zone, and that dude, that's tough. That's a tough thing to turn down. Just get him in the middle of the field.
Let's take a trip down the tip lane. I think that's what we need to do.
All right.
That's what you want, Tip Ryman?
I'm happy with Tip Ryman. I've liked him since I wrote him up. So I talked myself into him a long time ago.
Tip it is. Just the
Right.
tip. All right. 4 picks left. We are still in the 6th round. Pick 209. I'm feeling we probably need to go secondary or even offensive line here. Offensive line, obviously, starter wise, we're pretty set. We probably need to add tackle depth. We could have done tackle early in the draft just because obviously, is Alaric Jackson the true franchise starting left tackle? So that was something we definitely could have addressed earlier for anyone listening that's maybe throwing stuff at the computer screen or your phone screen. We do realize that. I think we just like what we were able to get. But we will definitely want to add depth at that position with one of these 4 picks. Do we go now? Do you like one of these corners still?
Well, let's. I mean, Tanner Bortolini. Interesting option there. He's unfortunately interior, but he's a really good pickup at this point. Let's see what we have in terms of secondary. We got to go secondary here. I feel like.
Okay, your Omar Brown was still there.
I'd be comfortable with Brown here.
Yeah, I think this is a good spot.
I don't know a ton about Devonshire. Do like that name.
MJ Devonshire. Yeah.
Just long on the shoulder pads.
Yeah. We'll go Brown, and Devonshire goes one. Oh, look at that. The Niners get Frank Gore Jr. Good for them. Pick 213. So still have an option with Caden Wallace here at tackle. Andrew Coker. I'm kind of leaning tackle at this point.
Okay.
I mean, if we're looking at BPA anyway, you're looking at a tackle at the top of the board. So
you got to like Penn State tackles as well.
Yeah, Big Ten offensive lineman is always a safer bet. So let's go Wallace here. All right, 2 picks left. One more in the 6th, and then we get our 7th round pick. This point, it's just who do you want? What position do you want? I think we're not really filling needs at this point in the draft. So, is there a position you want to see?
How we feeling about linebackers depth right now? Christian Roseboom's back.
We got the great Troy Reeder re-signed.
Yeah.
I know fans are pumped about that.
When Ernest Jones went out, like there was a distinct lack of gap soundness.
Quite the drop off. Let's see what our option is there. I mean, is there a better name than Steel Chambers for a linebacker? That might be the pick just for that reason.
Yeah, I love it.
Let's just do it, lock it in. I do like Darius Moasow too. Obviously, I have some LA bias, but at this late in the draft, Moasow is a really good, run stuffing linebacker, really smart. Kind of led the defense in a number of different ways. So him and Oladipo, who were the 2 kind of starting backers for UCLA in a top, 11 ranked defense in college football last year. So I know more about Moasow. It's just hard to pass up a name like Steel Chambers.
Yeah. Decent athlete, it looks like. 33-inch vertical jump. Hey, he will fit his gap and spill action wide and set the edge. So, I mean, like, those are all good things.
What more can you ask for from a 6th round linebacker?
I think They need to start thinking about the position a little bit more. Add some depth.
All right. Chambers or Moasso? Skinny Sneed.
Let's just avoid being Bruin homers at this point.
Yeah, we
I
got
think
one.
still,
I guess we got one LA guy. We got Tosh Washington. So there's our. All right.
well,
Steel
and
Chambers.
Leatu Latu.
Oh, and Leatu Latu. That's
I,
right.
I, I did a little quick research. It's been a while since they've added a USC player. The last one was 2013.
Since the Rams.
Yeah.
2013. Wow. Even before the Donald draft. Let me see.
Yeah.
Do you know who it is? Don't tell me yet.
Let me get back to it.
2013 was the last USC player they drafted. That's a fun trivia question.
Yeah.
Tell me when you know who it is, and I'll throw a guess out there.
Sorry, I had it pulled up and then I.
No, you're good.
Great radio.
We're in the last pick anyway, pick 254.
Okay, he's a defensive back.
2013, so 11 years ago. Defensive back. I mean, the only back I can think of from that like era is Adoree Jackson, but he wasn't drafted by the Rams.
He's got a famous father. He was drafted in the 3rd round. He played 1 year, the 2016 Los Angeles Rams, and played in Miami. Any guesses?
I'm going to feel like an idiot, but no. Give it to me.
TJ McDonald.
TJ McDonald. Yeah. Wow. That was
Tim
the last.
Dad.
Crazy. The last USC player drafted by the Rams.
And he was like an outlier. They really have not drafted USC whatsoever. Like, let's see here. It goes from 2013 to 2006, Dominic Byrd. And then before that, 1986.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Very interesting. That is a very fun fact. Wow. Okay. Well, hopefully this year they change that and take at least one Trojan. I think there's a lot of good fits for them.
Yeah.
Whether it's Kalen Bullock, whether it's Taj Washington like we did, whether it's Brennan Rice earlier as a true X receiver. So, but anyway, last pick of the draft. What positions do you want to see here? Skinny Sneed?
You know, there was a quarterback up there that I would not mind.
Carter Bradley?
Take a shot on a HBCU guy. I mean, I don't want to talk anybody into it, but
can you imagine Rams get 2 quarterbacks in this draft?
No, that can't happen. That can't happen. Stop
Can't happen.
I mean, Josh Proctor, I did like coming out of Ohio State, another Ohio State product for the safeties.
Yeah.
Jordan Fuller, of course. There. I mean, I feel like you just got to take. Oh, Sam Hartman's still on the board. Come on. Just showing my bias there. How could he go undrafted with that hair and that beard?
No. And he's like 30 years old. That's probably why.
Yeah, exactly.
Carson Steele. I forgot that he was in the draft this year.
So, yeah, what's your just taking like a big swing on something fun?
I mean, we already went safety, but you know that doesn't mean you can't take another safety and you either have more, move them as like a nickel guy or a dime guy. I like Kenny Logan Jr.
Okay.
And you mentioned Josh Proctor. Like of this, just looking at this BPA, those would probably be the 2 guys I would lean. I doubt, there's not Slim Pickens there at receiver.
Yeah.
Corner. None of that. Yeah. I think those safeties are probably what I'm leaning here. Where he took a tight end. So
good, smart, conservative way. I wanted to have some fun, but safety it is.
Who was the fun you wanted to have?
I just wanted something to be there that was like, what was the guy? Oh, Bubs. If Bubs was available there.
I mean, we can go kicker here. We need a kicker still, right?
Will Reichert. I wrote about Will Reichert already. He holds the record for most scored NCAA points. Missed only a handful of field goals. Good. We figured out the kicker. Tanner Brown. We still appreciate you. Hey, we scored pretty well.
Yeah. Who knows what these how they grade these? I mean, we probably would have been higher if we didn't go kicker here, but
well, if I didn't talk you into Audric Estime, That's our worst grade.
That's surprising. I think that's a fine pick. So, but yeah, love it. So there you go. There is our. I mean, we got an A for Spencer Rattler. So whatever
Exactly.
these grades mean, I really don't know it's just an AI generator, I guess. It gives you a grade. But um, anyway, let us know what you all think. Not bad. Full mock in 40 minutes. Well
Love it.
done. And we a little back and forth there, a little Sean McVay, a little Les Snead or Ryan McVay, Skinny Snead. Who was your take out the first round?
Uh-huh.
Who's your favorite pick in this mock draft?
Well, my favorite pick is PFF's least favorite pick, Audric Estime. I'm
Yeah.
the most excited about that one. Just
Why?
because they've invested so heavily at the offensive line, and this is just a way that they can take advantage of that. Take some of the pressure off of Kyren and off of Stafford, and he's a true bell cow. Like he can take the load.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be a really nice 1-2 punch with him and Kyren Williams if that's the case. And you want to take some more pressure off Stafford, and you don't want to have to get pass happy. And hopefully McVay can continue to evolve in his trust in the running game. And just for the simple fact too that as much as we love Kyren Williams, I mean he hasn't been healthy a full season, so
Yeah.
you need another guy that you can trust running the rock, and I think Estime is that guy. For me, I'll take my bias aside because I love the Taj Washington pick. I love Taj, but I'll go Mekhi Wingo here. I mean, that to me is a steal in the 5th round,
Yeah.
not just because of the grade PFF gives it, but I mean that's a guy that played SEC country. Those are big bodies in the trenches out there, playing in the Bayou. I know Coach O's not there no more, but they still sound like that, right? Brian Kelly tried to sound like that on his opening welcoming at LSU, but yeah, I mean, the Wingo pick, if that were to happen, feels like, and I know it's 2 rounds later, but feels like a guy that could give you close to like a Kobie Turner. I'm not saying exactly his production, but a guy that as a mid-round pick, you're like, oh, wow, that was a great pick because he's on the field often, and it's hard to take him off the field because that's how well he played. So Wingo in the 5th would be a steal.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't go wrong there, especially with just the need at depth. Behind our 2 guys that we've we didn't no Jenkins, yeah, with Jenkins and Wingo, you're starting to build back a defensive line, and that's
Yeah,
good. And
I like.
I mean, Will Reichert might be my favorite because they've just can't get it right with the kicker
Got to
since
take a swing,
Zerline.
right? Got to. I
Yeah.
mean, they found their franchise punter in the 7th last year, so maybe they found their kicker this year in the 7th. And let's just give some more love to Steel Chambers. I mean, that is just an underrated name. I mean, I follow college football. Obviously, we now that USC and UCLA are in the Big Ten, and follow Ohio State, who's been a good team, and underrated. Steel Chambers, that name is as a linebacker.
Yeah, that's
Am I
a name.
overplaying it, or I mean, Steel Chambers? That is a football name right there.
You could write a television show about Steel Chambers as a main
Right?
character. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, you get Spencer Rattler and Steel Chambers. I mean, that's like we're getting like a nice 90s like college football movie like made there.
Oh yeah, and Mekhi Wingo can be in that category for some fun as well. So Audric Estime.
This might be the all name Rams draft of all time, like the best Rams names coming out of it.
I
I'll
think
have to
so. Like
do some research on that one.
if somehow like Puka Nacua was in this class, like hands down, like no brainer. But yeah, Steel Chambers, love it. So and we get an A for that one. So I guess it's again, Big Ten pedigree in the late rounds. So that should do it. Unless you want to add anything else, my man.
No, if you guys have any other ideas for like the style of mock drafts, we're in full mock draft season, so we're gonna do at least one more, maybe 2 more of these. So if there's like if you want to do all offense, do all defense, I don't know.
That'd be interesting.
Pick a theme, and we'll do a theme.
Let's just go best names now. Next time, best BNA, best name available in the next round. But we kind of already did that. I think we already crossed
Nailed
some
that.
of those. Yeah, we checked those off the board. So
Tip Ryman.
we didn't even say Tip Ryman. What a name there. How do we leave that one out?
I don't know. Latu. I mean, these are all A-class names.
Tip is an underrated first name. Tip.
That's another one of those, I was saying last week, like the loss of great nicknames,
Yeah.
Tip's a good nickname.
What famous book is there a character named Tip? It's not To Kill a Mockingbird, but there's some famous, like every person has to read it through grade school, and there's some character named Tip.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Great Gatsby.
I'll tell you what book that is. It's the 2024 Rams NFL season when Tip Raymond's playing his heart out for your Los Angeles Rams. All right. First official live mock draft here on the Rams Skinny. Hope you all enjoyed it. Let us know if you hate it. Let us know what you hate about it. Let me know what you love about it. Comment below if you're on YouTube. Rams LAFB is the YouTube channel. If you're not there, please check it out. Hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us out a ton, and we just want to be able to engage and hang out with you guys more. Find us on Twitter at Ryan Dowd LAFB, at RL Anderson LAFB, or at LAFB Network is the main hit channel. And of course, you can find everything that we do at LAFBnetwork.com, your destination for Los Angeles football. For Skinny T, I am Ryan McVay. Thank you all for hanging out with us. Enjoy a couple days. We'll be back with more draft talk.